Good, happy Friday evening, April 24, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this evening edition of Good Evening, New Hampshire. Let's begin. First up, let's take a look at your COVID-19 in New Hampshire information, what you need to know. Let's take a look at that right now. And here's a look at your COVID-19 information, what you need to know. There are 1,720 number of people in New Hampshire have tested positive for COVID-19. 889,661 number of people in the United States who have tested positive. 53 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 224 number of people who have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire. And 50,890 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. This map of New Hampshire shows you where cases of COVID-19 are in towns and cities of New Hampshire. In Waterville Valley, 1 to 4 cases of COVID-19. And this chart here shows you new cases each day in New Hampshire. In purple, daily new positive COVID-19 cases. In the orange, new hospitalizations. And in the red are the deaths. Current cases. In the purple, total current COVID-19 cases. In orange, new current hospitalizations. Cumulative totals. In the purple, total positive COVID-19 cases. In the orange, total hospitalizations. In the red, deaths. In blue, recovered. A look at age groups of people that got it. Look at sex, female and male that have gotten COVID-19, and risk information. Race / ethnical of cases. Percent of New Hampshire population. And your common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, and difficult breathing. How it spreads, and prevention tips. And be sure to stay with us for the latest of your COVID-19 information. Officials shut down several White Mountain National Forest trailheads. Officials cite unseasonably high number of visitors to forest, raising potential for spread of COVID-19. Take a look at this photo here. This is a photo of the White National Forest, all these places. The U.S. Forest Service shut down several White Mountain National Forest trailheads and recreational sites until further notice Friday in an effort to slow the spread of the novel coronavirus disease, COVID-19. Forest officials said there recently has been unseasonably high number of visitors, which could result in an increased chance of exposure to COVID-19. The trailheads, day use areas, and recreational facilities were closed to ensure visitors and staff members can properly follow guidelines from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention for social distancing. Closing these areas will allow the forest to assess our ability to do work safely, reduce the number of vehicles and congestion at trailheads, help control vandalism, and to meet CDC guidance and cleaning standards, forest officials said. Parking at trailheads and on most roads is prohibited, though visitors who can walk to the trails are able to use them, officials said. With highs in the 50s and 60s likely on Saturday, with sunny conditions, many were expected to visit the forest's trails. As warm weather approaches, the forest continues to see increased visitation at recreation sites, site trailheads, and trails. It is difficult to practice physical distance and maintaining high use sites to CDC guidelines. The safety of the Forest Service employees, our visitors, and local communities is priority as we operate in the new COVID-19 environment. Acting Forest Supervisor on the White Mountain National Forest said in a press release today. Anyone needing information, permits, and maps was encouraged by officials to call Forest Headquarters at 603-536-6100. The Saco Ranger Station at 603-447-5448, or the Androscoggin Ranger Station at 603-466-2713 during regular business hours. View this USDA interactive map to see what trailheads and recreational facilities will be closed. After clicking the link, scroll to the map and interact with an icon to learn more. You can interact with the button to see the map in legends. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into national news. In national news, Pelosi mocks Trump's dissident claims and pushes aid for hard-hit states. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi on Friday wearing a scarf she used as a facial covering aimed at the pandemic took shots at both President Donald Trump and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, accusing them both of being anti-science and anti-governance. And your coronavirus live updates. Maryland agency receives more than 100 disinfectant use calls. More than 889,000 people have been affected in the U.S. Today's biggest developments. Global cases surpass 2.7 million. U.S. death toll tops 50,000. China, South Korea report no new deaths. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into business news. In business news, Dow drops more than 200 points as oil extends rebound but posts first weekly losses in 3. Stocks rose on Friday as oil prices clawed back even more of their historic losses from earlier in the week, while investors weighed on perspective of potential coronavirus treatment from Gilead Sciences. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into weather and traffic. Let's begin with the weather first. Your weather right now is partly cloudy, 48 degrees. Your weather for tonight, mainly clear, low, 36 degrees, winds light and variable. And now let's take a look at your traffic this evening. And here's a look at the traffic this evening. Not too bad of a ride in New Hampshire on the roadways. As you can see, some slow down areas and smooth sailing for the most part. Not too bad on the roadways this evening. And let's switch gears now. Let's go into New Hampshire Life segment. In tonight's New Hampshire Life segment, New Hampshire officials make some changes as trout pond fishing opens tomorrow. Changes made because of ongoing coronavirus crisis. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Reporters like you. An accurate count helps inform where billions go every year.
Shape your future. Start here.
Us, it's another holiday.
Fishing Game says the fourth Saturday in April when trout ponds open is a big one. But this year, things are slightly different thanks to COVID-19.
With this pandemic, people still can fish. We're encouraging folks to obviously, you be smart.
They released this graphic showing a fishing rod's length or more is a good distance to be safe. Fishermen will also notice other changes. Toilet facilities at Fishing Game boat ramps will be closed for now. Docks are not being installed to keep people apart, and weekly fish stocking reports will not be posted online to keep people from gathering. It is still okay to go fishing?
Yep, all season dates and bag limits do apply. So if you need help with that, you can either call us or refer to our New Hampshire Fishing Digest, and you still need a fishing license.
Yeah, if you are 16 or older, you need to get a license. You can do that on the Fishing Game website or at their headquarters in Concord. Meantime, happy fishing, everybody. I got to finish tuning up my rod, and then I'll check out some of the fishing out there. I think the fish, though, are pretty safe.
I can't wait to hear all of the big fish stories. We're going to hear from you, Mr. McDonald.
Sean's trying to hook himself a donut out of the kitchen is what he's saying.
I know that Kevin's looking forward to getting out there and doing some fishing. How's the weather going to be this weekend, Kevin?
I mean, Saturday is certainly the pick of the weekend, and I don't think it's even close at this point, where we'll have temperatures in the 50s to lower 60s and sunshine, while Sunday we'll have rain moving in, but if you're out early enough in the morning, you'll probably be okay.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's see what's on TV tonight. New tonight. At 7 o'clock p.m., the NFL Draft on ABC. 2020 NFL Draft Rounds 2 and 3 begins at 7 o'clock p.m. At 8 p.m., 90 Days Finance Before the 90 Days. And you can watch that on TLC. Friday night Smackdown. You can watch that tonight at 8 p.m. on Fox. Gold Rush, 8 p.m. on Discovery Channel. Live PD Rewind, 8 p.m. on A&E. McGavver, 8 p.m. on WBZ. On CBS. Rawls Drag Race, 8 p.m. on VH1. Sash of Sunset, 8 p.m. on Bravo. The Blacklist, 8 p.m. on NBC. Disney Family Sing-Along, 8 p.m. on Disney Channel. Diners, Dives In and Dives, 9 p.m. on the Food Network. Live PD, 9 p.m. on A&E. Mega Pa on CBS at 9 p.m. My Lottery Dream House, 9 p.m. on HGTV. Sash of Sunsets, 9 p.m. on Bravo. And if you want to see the rest of tonight's new TV listings, you can just go to the Riley King Network Facebook page after this broadcast. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into entertainment news. In entertainment news, Kate Middleton celebrates Prince Louis' second birthday with Instagram versus reality pics. Let's take a look at that video from Entertainment Tonight.
Prince Louis celebrates his birthday in the most colorful way.
Prince William and Kate Middleton's youngest turned 2 on Thursday, but the celebration started a day early when Kensington Palace released these 5 adorable images of Louis painting rainbows. The crafting project has become a trend amongst children to spread hope amid the coronavirus pandemic. As for Louis' photographer, that would be his mom, the Duchess of Cambridge. The mom of 3 also snapped an additional 2 photos, which she posted on Louis' actual birthday. This time, Kate documented an Instagram version versus reality.
Well, we're seeing more of the inside of the royals' homes than we've ever seen. I do think it does add an air of informality, and I think that's much needed at the moment.
What's more, many are pointing out Louis' striking resemblance to his mama, and also her father, Michael Middleton. The 2-year-old definitely inherited the Middleton gene more than his brother and sister George and Charlotte. But back on the birthday train, Grandpa Prince Charles also shared a tribute to his grandson. The 71-year-old's Clarence House Instagram account posted this sweet black and white photo of Louis giving Charles a giant hug prior to the quarantine.
And I find myself on the other side of the illness, but still in no less a state of social distance and general isolation.
Last month, Charles tested positive for COVID-19, though he only experienced mild symptoms and has since left quarantine. William recently opened up about his father's diagnosis in an interview with the BBC.
I have to admit, at first I was quite concerned.
Luckily, Charles pulled through, and now the family video chats to keep in touch, something Will and Kate also opened up about in the same interview.
And actually, I think your father and my parents and our families and things like that have really loved keeping in touch with the children, because I know it's really hard. It gets a bit hectic, I'm not going to lie, with the 2-year-old. He often wants to take the phone or he's right.
For some reason, he sees the red button and always wants to press the red button.
The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge have been quarantined at their Norfolk residence with their 3 kids.
So they are self-isolating at Anmer with the children. They are being homeschooled at the moment.
It's where George, Charlotte, and Louis recently lined up to clap for NHS workers in this adorable video posted on the family's official Instagram page last month.
What better to lift our spirits than to see the royal children clapping for everyone who really is working round the clock and putting their lives on the line to help others.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And thank you for watching this evening edition of Good Evening New Hampshire. Have a wonderful rest of your Friday evening. I'll see you back here tomorrow for another edition of Good Evening New Hampshire. Good night and bye, everyone.